very quiet in Manchester. It's Friday the 6th of March. We're on Bury New Road. It's all been shut down. It's all been quarantined for coronavirus. So it begins. And action!
Hi, my name is Ahmed. I'm a fan of Charlie Veitch's channel. I'm watching his channel right now at the moment.
So how old were you when you first watched my videos?
I was about 14, 15 roughly.
And you're how old now?
21.
So what's it like growing up with my insane videos?
It's been fun, you know. It's been fun.
Gotta wait to go around the geese. Oh, steady. And the 3 white goose symbolism, 3 white geese, is returned in the 3 white ducks. I'm quarantined in. Alrighty, M62, eh? Okay. Oh shit. Okay, we're here in Salford, where people get their priorities straight. Obviously there's a run on the shops, there's panic buying, and we're here in the alcohol section. So all the beers are okay, but what people have been panic buying is Carling Lager. That's all gone. People like to drink Carling, and also, in a show of support, the other one they've been buying loads of is Corona Extra. Well, there you have it. Fuck's sake, England. Let's do this. Let's not stall. Where's it not deep? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, swimming. Oh, okay. That was not as dramatic as I hoped. There's the people with the toilet paper. He's gonna have a dirty shithole. It's the end of the world. He's concerned about how clean his anus is. Hi everyone, it's Charlie Veitch on the Charles Veitch channel. Just want to say thank you to everybody, and it's still rising every day. It's like, you know, 10,000, 11,000 have seen the Corona phone Big One megaphone video. Thoroughly enjoyed shooting it. My friend Milan was the cameraman, and we had a good time. And a couple of stories from that day. You might remember at the very end when I was doing action with the security guard at the train station at Manchester Piccadilly. Well, turns out as we were walking away, she did actually radio the British Transport Police, and I had a lady in undercover uniform. She grabbed my arm and flashed her detective badge at me. Goes, "Oh, it's a British police. Come stand over there." And I said, "Oh, am I being detained?" She goes, "Oh, I need to ask you a few questions. Come stand over there." And then she touches my arm again. I said, "Don't touch me." I said, and then anyway, they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to investigate. We need to know who you are. We need your name, address, date of birth, because we've had a report." And I ended it with like, you know, come on, you know. I said, look. And I do this quite often when police try and extend their authority with their black truncheon of power. I said, look, police woman, you know those 2 world wars we fought, our great-grandfathers or grandfathers, that they fought and got wounded and got killed and by the million. Do you know why they fought? They fought so that people in uniform or out of uniform won't come up to you demanding to see your papers just because you've acted a little bit eccentrically. So anyway, Milan and I, we said thanks, but no thanks. And as we were walking away, the policewoman, the undercover detective, she shouts at me. She goes, "Well, that's not very nice, is it? It's turning your back and walking away." So I just turned around and I said, "That's not your job, Mrs. Policewoman." And they didn't like that. Now, I may request the footage. I've got a footage request from body cameras, the audio and video worn by 4 police officers. Really rude to me. You know, another incident where I almost required police intervention. And they came, and I was the victim, and they came, and because they knew my videos or who I am, they were really rude and condescending and nasty. And 10 minutes into it, I said, oh, you guys know I will be requesting this body camera and video audio. And all of a sudden, they became really polite, British, respectful police people. We'll see. Anyway, today's video, it's, as you know, I just want to get some more news out about the coronavirus. I'm not sure I'm going to do a daily video or a series of videos because it is kind of depressing. It was all exciting and like, you know, we were doing the live action role play about the end of the world and Armageddon and The Last of Us and The Walking Dead and Contagion and Outbreak and all these other disaster movies. But this one's quite depressing. It's quite real. It is terrifying. You know, for us young people, I'm still young. For us young people, yeah, it's not so much a lottery, but for your parents or our uncles, aunties, anyone over 50, 60, they're basically loading a bullet into a 6-shot revolver and they're spinning it and playing Russian roulette. I think for people over 70, as both my parents are, there's a 15% chance of death. Those are not good at all. It's not something to joke about. It's not something to take lightly. It's not something to shout and say, oh, it's just the flu. It's not just the flu, it's the coronavirus, it's reinfecting people. It's got bits of, I'm not a virologist, I don't know really what I'm saying here, but it's got bits of it that are similar to HIV. No retrovirals are working on it, obviously antibiotics don't work on it. Intensive care units are filling up all around the world. Italy's on quarantine, Britain's about to be quarantined, so I'm going to have a lot of fun before they lock me up. It's not a real quarantine, these big words in Italy. You're quarantined except if you have an emergency, family emergency, except if you have to go to work, except if you've got a good reason to go to another city. So it's kind of like a quarantine in name, the big Q, but it's not real. And see Donald Trump, that he's banned all European flights into America. Well, that's not going to help the airline industry. But as we saw with the kind of flight ban out of China, all our European friends, what they're going to do, don't know what accent that was, they are going to come across the channel, the English channel, and they're just going to fly to America from London or Manchester or Belfast or Dublin or what have you. So it is getting interesting. I have been having a look in various city centre supermarkets just to see what the panic buying is like. And the truth is always a bit more boring. It's somewhere in the middle. Yes, toilet paper is selling very well, but every single supermarket I've gone, they still had a bit of availability, maybe 30% still on the shelves. So yeah, it looks dramatic. And another funny one I saw in Asda the other day, I might actually include the clip in this video, was the people buying Corona, panic buying Corona extra beer. It's pretty cool. So really, you know, we're literally a couple of days away from a British quarantine, but as I say, it's going to be in name only. If, you know, you're trying to leave Manchester in my situation to go visit my parents and the police checkpoint, oh, Mr. Veitch, why are you oh, I need to go visit my parents. My dad's ill, I need to go look after him because my mum needs some help. Okay, on you go. There you go. Go take your corona. Go take that north of the border and go and infect them. Anyway, I went on NHS 111 yesterday on the website because I thought, you know, I've had a bit of a cold the last 3 days because 2 weeks ago I had a meeting in a hotel and in the restaurant bar lobby area there was a group of young, like 20-something Italian guys, and I could tell they were Italian because they were speaking Italian. Mamma mia! And they were coughing so hard, like all of them, all 10 of them, coughing their guts out. You know, like when people cough so hard and the voice box goes weird and they sound like honking sea lions. You know, that weird hard cough they do. So they were doing that in the lobby, and this was 10 days ago. I knew I was fucked. I knew, Italy, they already kicked off 10 days ago. I was like, probably. But anyway, I went on the NHS 111. You go through this checkpoint, and what it is, not checkpoint, tick boxes. It's the government, because they don't have any more coronavirus testing kits. Like, what are they going to make? 7 billion of them. The factories in China are all shut down anyway. I'm going to come on to China in a minute. So, I did the NHS 111. It goes, have you had this? Have you been to these countries? Have you had close contact? It goes less than a meter. The virus is airborne. It survives in the air. People just breathing in the same room as you can infect you. But this government thing, have you been within 2 meters of someone coming from China or Iran or Italy? I'm like, not within 2 meters, but it was 20 feet away, coughing at me. Honk, honk, honk. So I don't qualify for a coronavirus test. Good news is, there is always some good news. I'll come on to China after the good news. The good news is, it's affecting people in their teens and 20s, but it's not killing or seriously injuring any children, toddlers, or babies. Every cloud has a silver lining. The most dangerous and virulent and frightening and deadly viral outbreak that I've seen in my lifetime, that you've all seen in your lifetimes, isn't hurting children. It's almost like a virus you could be friends with if it wasn't killing our parents. Now, what I want to end on is just talk a bit about China, the Communist Party. You know, it's an authoritarian regime that isn't elected, that has a social credit system. There was that MMA guy, he was like a mixed martial artist, good guy. His job, he hated all the fake kung fu, all these like, you know, these cults where the people are like, whoa, and then they're like 10 disciples fall over. They're using chi force. Anyway, this mixed martial artist guy, he decided to go on tour around China to say, look, come on, we need to have a bit more respect for ourselves as Chinese people. These weird cults where we're pretending to use Jedi mind tricks to knock 10 young men. No. So he went round and he beat up and won and defeated, obviously, all these kung fu masters. Do you know what they did to him? The Chinese Communist Party, they thought he was embarrassing the nation, even though he was exposing truth, telling the truth. Verisimilitude, verisimilitude, look it up. Look up the word verisimilitude. Anyway, this man, for his good work as a truther and exposing lies that should be exposed, they lowered his social credits and he's not allowed to fly or take high-speed trains. So let's say he lives in Beijing and he wants to go fight in Shanghai. He has to take a bus. 18 hours, probably arrive with coronavirus. So China, I love Chinese people. My brother's married to a Chinese woman. I've had many Chinese friends. When I was at school in Edinburgh, my mates were Chinese. There was a guy called Johnny Lung, and he smoked, and someone called him Johnny One Lung, and it was just memories, nostalgia. So China, I was like, oh yeah, we've got it all under control. Coronavirus is finished. So they're trying to tell us that in a country of 1.4 million, which has dozens of cities you've never heard of, with over 10 million, Wuhan, who the hell's heard of Wuhan? 11 million inhabitants. It's bigger than London. China's got hundreds of these. So they're telling us that in November, December, this viral novel corona COVID-19 came out, started infecting tens of thousands, well, they say only a few tens of thousands. Liars. Started infecting tens of thousands of people. They all traveled all around the world, even into North Italy, Chinese and Iran, everywhere, all over China for Chinese New Year before the quarantine. And the Chinese Communist Party, even though over 1,000 people have died in Italy in the last 10 days, Italy's this size. Where's my camera lens? Italy's that size population-wise. China, 1.4 billion. It's like 20% of the world's population. And they're telling us that only 3,000 people have died in China. What a load of shit. My God, between Italy and Iran, they've got probably about 3,000 deaths. And their population together, that size, compared to China. What a load of shit. I'm sorry. Had China been honest from the start, maybe containment, quarantines could have worked. But China's a powerful country with lots of rich people. The reason northern Italy got infected, obviously Chinese businessmen from Wuhan, Shanghai, Beijing, wherever, you know, traveling into North Italy, which is the rich part of Italy, doing their business, developing business. It's too late now. So my advice for you all with the quarantine is don't get too offended by it. It's not nice when the government tries to say, oh, you can do this. Because when you read between the lines, the government, not in Britain or even in Italy, they're not going to stop you really doing what you need to do. It's just a show of force to the NPCs, to the plebs, to the proles, to the masses. Because there's elections, people worried about their approval ratings. They need to be seen to be doing something. And that's why Donald Trump this morning has banned flights from Europe. So they're just going to come across to England and fly to America there. I love that. The eternal Anglo does not get banned from America. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure as always to talk at my camera, to talk to 10,000 of you, however many will watch. And as always, it's been great. So see you on the other side of this virus. I'm sure I'll do more content during the peak of this outbreak, if it peaks, if it's possible to be cured from it. Have you read the things about reinfection? That is where the real trauma and scariness is. Anyway, lots of love. This is Charlie Veitch on the 12th of March, signing out from Salford. Take care.